Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Becky, I'm an artist from the UK, and this month marks a year of me making videos on YouTube. It took me a disgracefully long time to discover that art on YouTube was a thing. I've watched YouTube for a really long time, but pretty much only for Let's Plays and music. It never really crossed my mind to look for art on here, which is embarrassing. I'm sure I've looked up tutorials and how-to videos before, but never a studio vlog or paint with me type video. I think it was my niece who actually introduced me to it. She was watching a Moriah Elizabeth squishy makeover video. We ended up watching a few, and then that evening I watched a load more, and I still really enjoy watching her videos. I started to get more and more creators being recommended to me. I'll leave a list of my favourite ones, but it kind of hit me that people like watching this and that it can be something of a career. If I realised this a long time ago, I would have definitely started sooner, and that's still a regret. It's not something that I've grown up with like it has been for my niece and my nephew. It just wasn't on my radar, and I do feel stupid for that. So last year I decided to make my first video. It's not great, they still aren't, but I did it, and once that was out the way, they got easier to do, and it got me into a routine which I personally need, and it helped me keep up motivation to make art, and it became a way to document my progress for myself. Before I started this, I had made a drastic direction change within my practice. I moved away from printmaking, lino print mostly, to painting, and I thought this journey would be interesting. What worried me was not just being rubbish at this, which I low-key am, but being too old for it. I'm 37 now, 36 when I first posted, and there's a little bit of I'm too old, it's already over for me. Everyone's making videos, they've been making them for ages, what's the point? Sort of very defeatist. But it was really a now or never kind of thing. And although I'm still trying to find my groove within everything and maybe build something out of this, I am enjoying it, and I've never been more motivated. I don't have the most views or followers, but I do really appreciate everyone that I have. A little backstory: I have a terrible long-term memory. I don't remember a lot from my childhood until my last few years of high school, specifically art-wise. I took art for GCSE and then went to art college, and then on to uni to do a degree in illustration. I've always known I wanted to work for myself. I've never wanted to do editorials or anything. I wanted to make my own stuff, which is difficult to do, especially as it was 2008 when I graduated. Instagram launched in 2010. Facebook was a thing, but only just, and same with YouTube. Nothing like they are now, no long form content. So I fell into working a normal job and doing art in my spare time. One thing that I did try was Etsy, unsuccessfully, and I haven't had it as a functioning shop for years now. I've always fluctuated between paintings, or huge paintings, and print. I've done loads of crafty stuff in between, but I gradually became more and more print-based. I discovered printmaking whilst I'm pretty sure it was my national diploma, which was about 2005. It was at the beginning of our course, and you get shown sort of how to do bits in various different workshops, and the print workshop really caught me. I think I'd done maybe one printing session in high school. We had a really old printing press, and I remember doing lino cutting, and I remember chopping up my fingers really badly. But surprisingly, I kept it up. I went back to it in college. I don't know why it stuck with me for so long. One of the main things I kept from I'm sure it was my national diploma I made it on, is a absolutely huge book. It's the original fairy tale of Cinderella, where I printed, I can't remember how many illustrations are in it, all on a copper plate. I did one print of each, so there was only one go at every page. I'm still super proud of it. I bound it all myself. I just remember working super hard on it, and I think just because of the sheer size of it and the amount of money I spent on really nice watercolour paper is the reason why I've kept it. It does live under my bed in a big folder, and it's one of those things that I will just take with me from place to place, house to house, for ever, I think, at this point. I don't hate printing. I think the reason I moved away from it is because I just wanted a bit more from it, a bit more expression maybe. I think that's why I went back to painting. There's a little bit more room for error. When you're painting, you can either paint over it or screw it up and start again. Carving a lino, it is more of, if I ruin this now, I've ruined the whole thing, which it doesn't bother me so much, but I don't know, there's slightly more freedom with painting. At some point I want to try and combine the two somehow, rework some of my old prints with some of my new paintings, but I'm not sure if I'll go back to it as heavily as I used to.
He's awful. There is one funny point to him, and then all these responses. So that came from the ocean. Diarrhea is on a balcony, and you can see probably the top of her rib cage up, and they go, how did you ponder that? And they're like, okay, well, be sure whenever you spread your legs tonight, really, let it destroy. It's basically the other sister up on land, is essentially what it is. And it's like, whoa. So you can do a super cut of.
My style has changed and evolved a lot during these years. I've got a video showing a load of previous work that I'll pin. I don't always keep my old work, but what I have, I show in that video. The last few years especially, I got very lost, so I decided to apply for my master's degree. I started in 2019, and although I'm ultimately glad I did it, it influenced everything up till now. I have mixed feelings, particularly in the beginning, but it did confirm that I still hate doing editorials. and focusing on my own work was really important. When I say my own work, I mean developing my paintings and my drawings and my sketches into possible merch, in commas. So like prints, stickers, that kind of thing, the whole sort of the normal YouTuber type stuff. But as I say, I didn't realise this was the thing, so it made it a lot more difficult for me to think of how I can get myself out there and how I could make, because I suppose your own artwork is quite a niche thing, but if it's on a huge platform like this, you're more likely for people to see it. So I guess this sort of outlet has always been something I wanted to do, but without knowing it existed, if you get what I mean. So back to last year, I had what I call a mini art identity crisis. I lost who I was, so decided after being influenced by many of my favourite YouTube artists to try a new direction, and here I am. I knew deep down that if I didn't do it now, I would never do it. It's the same with a lot of things I've done, same with my MA. If I hadn't have done it, it would have never crossed my mind, but it would never have been the right time to do it again. A year on now, I can see my artwork is heading in a direction that I'm excited about. It's not all great, but it is moving. I have a list of videos I want to make and different things I want to try out in the future. I've just got out of the stage of absolute burnout, and I'm feeling good again. One thing I always like to address is that I am not good at this voiceover stuff. I still find it really terrifying to listen to my own voice. But I just want to know that even though I may sound quiet or bored, I'm not. I'm still very awkward. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video and of my rambling. Hopefully you can take something away from this, and at the very least know that you're never too old to try something new, or at least step a little bit out of your comfort zone. Please like this video if you did, and maybe subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.